Nothing like the battle for the 7 seeds here in the upper bracket of Group B. It is the Flying Oysters going against Team Wales. And both teams are fighting for the title of the Apex Ocean Predator.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
On here, the battle for the 7 seas begins. CFO going in from the blue side with Rest on the Gnar, Gemini on the Sejuani, Jimmy N on the Oriana, Shun goes in with the Callista, and Shawsey with the Rel. For Team Wales and Sparta on the Renekton, BJ on the Lee Sin, Glory on the Ari, Artemis goes in with the Aphelios, and Pierre with the Alistair. Already 5 minutes have passed as we see Shawsey going in with the Flash Q, followed by Gemini with the Arctic Assault, and the Flashless Pierre gets sent to his base for the first time in this game. Looking now at the first dragon of the game, it's both the junglers in the pit, BJ. He protects himself from Gemini by using the objective as kind of a shield, and as Pierre comes in, the CFO jungler realizes that he better makes his way out of there. And so it's another convenient metaphor, because of course it's an Ocean Drake going to Team Wales. But we go over into the Herald pit where BJ gets stunned, and so it's Gemini stealing the objective for the Flying Oysters. A little bit of a follow-up team fight in the river, but Shawsey gets pulled in by the Callista ultimate. After 11 minutes, the Herald is placed, and BJ, he gets jumped on by Gemini and by Shawsey. And together with Jimmy and they whack down the Whale jungler. Shelly crushes into the outer mid lane turret. And on top of all, the Oysters obtain the next dragon, which is a Hextech Drake. 12 minutes into the game, we see BJ looking for Gemini in his own jungle. Dashes onto the ward, attacks the Sejuani. BJ follows with the headbutt of the Alistair, and it's the first kill for the Whales. 15 minutes into the game, we see Shawsey with another engage on the Rel, followed by Shun and by Gemini, who gets then knocked back by the Alistair. But Shun throws his supporter at Artemis, rips out his spears. The Aphelios goes down, and the Alistair's trapped in between 4 members of the Flying Oysters. It's a double kill for Shun, as Glory TP's in. It is still 3 members of the Whales, but they split up. Sparta goes into the river where he's all alone, and Shun and Shawsey, they do not miss out on this occasion. And so does Gemini, who comes in to take the kill. He will then also collect the Herald. Glory picks up first turret gold. It's a Cloudbringer's Grace going to the Oysters. And we're already 17 minutes into the game as we take a look at Sparta, who will tear down the outer turret on the top lane. And then we go back into the mid lane where we see Shelly. The Scaly Grace is summoned. She walks upon the turret, charges, and tears it down with all her mightiness. As we see Jimmy N taking the outer and the bot lane. Another Cloudbringer going to the Oysters. And then after 24 minutes, Shawsey goes in with a flash for the engage, but he's far in the back line of the Whales. Gemini follows, but the Rel has to be secured by Shun, who's now jumped on by BJ on the lead in. Shun will take him out, but then he falls to the feet of Artemis. And now it's Glory looking and finding Shawsey. 2 for 1 for the Whales, as Glory will make it out of there alive, as will all of the remaining members of both sides. And the Whales, they're now going to tear down the outer turret in the mid lane. And back at the same spot we are just a minute later, where Shawsey gets flanked by Glory, who goes in with the Spirit Rush, but he misses his Everfrost. He's too far on the back line, no follow-up, and it will be Shun collecting the shutdown. And now it's also Pierre, left alone to a deadly Oyster, if you have ever seen one. But we stick with the scene, because Sparta now turns for the engage. Tears Shawsey apart, but then it's a shockwave of the Oriana right into an outraging Mega Gnar. This ultimate from Jimmy N came in as clutch as it possibly could have been, pulling 3 members of the Whales into one spot where Gemini and Rest just had to pick up their kills. On the team from the PCS is rewarded with an inner mid lane turret, the Baron buff, and the Cloud Soul. And now they're going for the base, tearing down the inner turret and the bot lane, looking to demolish the inner turrets. And they are patiently poking down the mid lane inner turret. Turn as well for the bot side to disarrange the lines of the Whales. The inhib in the mid lane falls. They will have a super minion wave coming in. But we take a look at the bot lane. Rest is in position for a flank, but then it's Pierre on the Alistair going in for an engage. But it's then countered by Shawsey, who flashes in, activates the Magnet Storm. Jimmy N went down on the bottom screen, but so does Glory. No mid lane is in this fight. And also Shun goes down. No ADC for the Flying Oysters, who are now chased out of the base. No potential source of damage left there for the team from the PCS. Sparta tries to hunt them down. Pierre goes in with a W on Gemini, but his solo gets taken out by Rest. And now the little Gnar is taking over, takes out Sparta as well. Makes it a triple kill. as he sends Artemis into the grey screen. The Oysters turn this fight and will take the lead in this series.
I'm usually the one doing that. I'm usually the one making you free. CFO though, phenomenal game there. See if you could experiment with some.
Game number 2, and it's the Wales. This time starting from blue side with Sparta on the Cassante, BJ on the Jarvan, Glory on the Nico, and in their bot lane Xayah and Drakan, played by Artemis and Pierre. For the Oysters, it's Rest on the Gwen, Gemini on the Lee Sin, Jimmy N on the Ari, Shun on the Kaiser, and Shawsey wants to show us once again his ferocious blitzcrank. But at first we look into the bot lane almost 5 minutes into the game. BJ takes a bit of a long turn before he comes in for the tower dive. Rest goes down and the two Whales make it out of there, and we stay in the top lane where we see Sparta now going in with all out. Takes the Gwen over the wall where BJ gets pulled in by the blitzcrank hook of Chauncey, knocked up. And he will go down, but also Rest. It's a trade 1-for-1, and now Sparta continues to go in, but Jimmy N charms and calms to Cassante, who's then taken out by Chauncey, who collects a double kill in this situation. Again, an Ocean Drake secured in this Battle of the Seas by the Whales, and we take a look at Sparta, who takes Rest again on a journey into the river where BJ, having secured the Herald, is now waiting for his tag team partner to send the Hello Seamstress back to her base. Herald is placed in the bot lane after 12 minutes, but Chauncey pulls him in, knocks him up. Gemini and Shuna in the vicinity as well. And so the dread of all turrets gets squashed like a little buck. The next dragon gets secured by the Whales, who are then finally tearing down the outer bot lane turret. And now we see Glory getting pulled in by Chauncey, knocked up and ignited. Kick back by Gemini, but the pop blossom into the stopwatch, and now the flash out comes in crisp. It's just some insane mechanics there by the Wales mid laner. And even better than this, his team was in the meantime tearing down the outer turret in the mid lane. And now we even see him destroying the inner turret. Soul point is secured. After not more than 19 minutes, Sparta and Artemis tear down the last standing outer turret. But 2 minutes later, Rest will tear down the other standing outer turret as we see Jimmy N Spirit rushing out of the Cataclysm, and Sparta, he's going in. Path make onto Shun and Chauncey. He follows with the quickness, and the Cassante knockback Q pulls Chauncey into the demise. The Whales obtain Camp Take Soul, and after 26 minutes of Sparta with a flash Q into the all-out on Rest. BJ flies in, but he gets pulled over the walls by the Blitzcrank hook. The Pop Blossom of Glory will hit nothing but the stopwatch of Rest. Sparta tries to hunt him down, but Rest managed to dash into safety, and instead, BJ goes down, forced to the feet of Gemini, and now Chauncey with another Blitzcrank hook. The god of all hooks strikes again, pulls in Glory, who goes into the Zonias. And so this endeavor will be in vain, and Chauncey on the Blitzcrank gets sent back to the scrapyard. Gemini tries to get away somehow, but will be killed by the Baron, which will then be obtained by the remaining members of the Whales. And we're 28 minutes into the game as we see GBN with the engage on Glory, followed by Chauncey. The Pop Blossom connects, but so does the Charm. And Glory will be taken out by Shun, who went in too deep with his killer instincts, gets taken out by BJ. Gemini on the wrong side of the fight as well. And so it's a double kill for the Prince of Demacia. And the Whales, they're looking good in this game. Having now a gold lead of roughly 7,000, they're going for the base, tearing down the inner turret and the inhibitor in the mid lane. Not to mention the Camp Take Soul, which comes in handy especially for Sparta. And after almost 30 minutes, they engage through the bot lane, going for the inhib turret and the inhibitor on this side as well. They are looking for an angle to end this game and tie the series. Sparta now being their frontliner, he gets pulled in by Chauncey on the Blitzcrank. BJ follows, flies in, and the CFO supporter gets just popped mid-air. And the Whales, they're now going for Rest. Then for Gemini, only Jimmy N and Shun alive, but the Kaiser gets torn apart as well. And so the Whales, with an all-out convincing performance in Game 2, tie the series. And they will go into Game 3 with lots of confidence.
One of the
It's the deciding game 3. CFO starting from blue side with Rest on the Renekton, and Gemini on the Vi, Jimmy N on the Asia, Shun on Xayah, and Chauncey goes in with the Rel. On the Whales are going in with Spot on the Aatrox, BJ on the Jarvan, Glory on the Orianna, Artemis with the Kaiser, and Pierre with the Nautilus. 3 minutes into the game, Glory about to be sandwiched. He flashes the wall breaker, but he cannot escape the Rel Q on the shifting sands. And so it's first blood going to Gemini. And Riot, don't tell me that this is not intended. For the 3rd time in the Battle of the Seas, it's the Ocean Dragon being the first dragon of the game, but we take a look at Chauncey, who becomes the first victim of the Whales in this game. And we go over already 8 minutes into the game, where we see the Herald about to reset. And Gemini going in with his Q on BJ, who escapes with the flash, goes with the Cataclysm on Chauncey. Gemini follows with the C-set assist. The Rel goes in and out of the circle. BJ goes down, but Chauncey as well. Gemini tries to escape, but Pierre pulls him back into the misery. Nice hook by the Nautilus. Sparta collects the kill, and now he's going for Rest. But he gets rooted, and then it's Jimian with the Emperor's Divide, pushing back every whale into the river. No more kills so far, and it takes another minute until we see Gemini taking the first Herald. And then it's a Cloud Dragon going to the Whales. Shelly summoned in the mid lane, crushing into the outer turret. And we go into the bot lane where Gemini is lurking in the brushes for the cease and desist. Connected to Artemis, and together with Shun they burst the Kaiser back into the void. The first turret gold will be collected by Jimmy N in the bot lane. And we're now at the second Herald, where we see the first team fight of the game arising. SP pulls in Chauncey with the dredge line, knocks him up with a depth charge, and then it's Glory collecting a kill. The feather storm of Shun won't do much harm, but the shockwave of Glory comes in clutch. Rest and Shun will go down, but then it is Jimmy N taking over the fight. Double kill on Sparta and Glory, and Opier tries to escape from the deadly Emperor, and a Violet wielding her mighty X-Tech gauntlets, and it's a Vault Breaker taking down the Nautilus before it reaches safe shores. And have I missed any metaphors yet relating to water and sea? Because if so, I feel sorry on this match. But let's not digress. The Oyster stare down the outer mid lane turret, obtain the Mountain Dragon, and now it's Jimmy Anna engaged there by BJ. He knocks back the Jarvan and dodges the shockwave. That is Asia movement to perfection from the Oyster's mid laner. But BJ goes in with the Catalyst. Glory throws the Sphere, and it's close, but they take out Jimmy Ann eventually. But another 2 minutes later, we see him together with Gemini taking out the outer turret, and now it's Chauncey, who finds 3 players with his crash down and the Magnet Storm. The Sand Soldiers fly in. Gemini takes out Pierre, but he's now too far on the back line, all alone. Goes down as well. And now the Oysters disengage, looking for Soul Point. It's another Mountain Dragon, but it's still 4 members alive for the Whales. And in the other pit, there's another epic jungle monster sitting on an even mightier buff. The TP of Glory comes in. He starts to work down a health bar. And the Oysters, they have just no vision. They can see how the Whales are stealing the Baron in one of the most sneakiest ways that you have ever seen in a Worlds tournament. And we have passed the 25 minutes mark to see Glory there, getting caught on a recall. Gemini goes in with a C-set assist. And then there's the whole team of the Oysters follow up to take down the mid laner, who just destroyed the outer turret in the top lane. But being with 5 members in the top lane leaves Artemis and Sparta having an easy game tearing down the outer turrets in mid and bot lane. It is a disadvantageous trade for the Oysters. And we're now 28 minutes into the game, where we see Chauncey with another W into the Magnet Storm for the engage, followed by Gemini. But BJ on the Jarvan immediately reacts, jumps into the back line with his Cataclysm to avoid the follow-up. Gemini and Chauncey just get bursted into the grey screen. Rest in the stopwatch, comes out of it, slices away into safe distance. And in the end, thanks to BJ sacrificing his life, it's a 2-for-1 for the Whales, who can now deny the Oysters to obtain Dragon Soul, but have to trade in the inner turret in the mid lane. 31 minutes into the game, B flashing over the wall with the Nautilus hook. But great reactions there by Jimmy N with the flash on the Asia and the Feather Storm of Shun. Gemini went golden after he was targeted. Knock up by BJ on Rest. Followed by Sparta. Artemis goes in with the killer instinct at the Q as well. BJ with another Dragon Flag, and then it's a World Ender who collects the kill. Chauncey now going in with the Magnet Storm, but he gets burnt down. Jimmy with the Emperor's Divide gets killed as well by BJ. And Team Wales, they win a team fight, but BJ takes the blast cone into the misery. No, he survives. The God Drinker keeps him alive. He's solo at 1 HP, tries to bait in Gemini. Glory behind him in the brushes. Gemini, he's closing in. Glory throws the sphere for the dissonance. But Gemini, he backs off. But BJ, he wants this. He has full faith in his gore drinker. Drags himself to the Demarson standard. But Gemini turns for the Vault Breaker. And the gore drinker procs another time. The Q misses. And Gemini goes in another time, and this time he takes out the Jarvan. But the rest of the whales, they're going for the base now. Chelsea goes in, trying to buy as much time for Shun to deal some damage as he can. The Rel falls, but the damage of Shun is enough to terrify the whales. The shockwave will take out Shun. But with Rest returning, they fend off the whales. They fend off the defeat. But for how long, it's a question, because the whales, they take the next Baron as well. Being on the power play now. Going for a good old ARM to push the mid-wave. The Oysters position around the rushes at bot side river, lurking behind the walls, except for Rest, who gets now engaged on by BA with the hook. Followed by a triple Aatrox Q of Sparta. Knock up by the Nautilus depth charge. But he will still make it out of there. And it's re-engaged by the Oysters into the backlane. Artemis turns golden. Gemini and Jimmy N find Gloria and BJ. Jimmy N will then go down as well. Chauncey is in a stopwatch as Sparta goes in with a Q. Takes out Chauncey, but then it's Shun and Rest. Finding Artemis and Pierre. And so the Oysters with his team fight losing 2, but taking out 4 members of the whales. Only Sparta, who we see here, makes it out of life. But he gets harassed by Gemini, who cancels his recall, even a Baron empowered recall. And so he buys some time for his team to take out the mid lane inhibitor. And now they turn their eyes towards the Dragon Pit, where Sparta is already TP'd in, but he's alone. None of his team members are here yet. Only BJ on the Jarvan about to close in. And now he's engaged on by 3 Oysters, but BJ comes in, immediately goes for the ADC, and they take out Shun. And now Sparta is backing away. But BJ will make it out of there alive. And so it's no jungler for the whales and the fight for the next Baron, which could be Dragon Soul for the Oysters. Rest TP's in, but he gets caught by Bie immediately. And he gets knocked up by the depth charge and taken out by Artemis, who now flies across the river to take out Chimian as well. Gemini, looking like a sad seashell, he gets squashed by 3 whales. Only Chelsea survives. And other whales, they're going for the end. They're looking to take this serious, they totally ignore the dragon. On the side of the Oysters, only Shun has respawned by now. The rest of the team, looking at a 30 seconds death counter. The Rel, the Iron Maiden falls. Only feathers are left now for the Oysters. The Bird Lady is throwing everything she has. Goes for the Feather Storm, but it won't be enough. She's sent into the GA and won't survive for much longer. The whales, for the second time in this tournament already, they turn around a series in which they were trailing, and they rise above all expectations that were put into them. And so the second seed from the VCS will proceed to the finals of the playing stage.